What's going on, guys? I see you all in the chat. I know I'm a couple minutes late. I had to be prepared. This is an important one today. So let's get into it. Tyler Robinson, the alleged lone wolf assassin of Charlie Kirk, appeared in court yesterday because the defense is arguing to remove the Utah County Attorney's Office from the prosecution. To remind you, they're doing this because the file for the death penalty in this case happened abnormally fast compared to other death penalty cases. It was found that one of the attorneys within the Utah County Prosecutor's Office had a daughter at the UVU event where Charlie was killed. And his daughter sent him, the dad, footage in the immediate aftermath, which the defense argues emotionally connects him to this case because his daughter was in danger, which they argue are grounds for removing that attorney and the entire office from the case. The state is arguing that they filed for the death penalty because of the obvious evidence against Tyler Robinson in this case. So this was the purpose of the hearing that took place yesterday. Therefore, the state was required to present the evidence they had, which makes this so obvious. And this is where things get juicy. The state brought in their own witness, who is the lead investigator collecting the evidence on this case from the Utah State Bureau of Investigation to discuss what evidence makes this so obvious that Tyler Robinson is guilty. What he states here is a game changer, as I'm about to show you. Also, the FBI director, Kash Patel, appeared on Fox News, and Baier pressed him hard over how the FBI has handled this Charlie Kirk investigation case and the evidence against Tyler Robinson. Yes, being the shooter in the first place, but also acting alone. Baier lets Kash comment on the Charlie Kirk case, and then he uses a previous clip to trap Kash and prove the point. This is why no one believes you.
Okay, two more quick things. The Charlie Kirk shooter, the trial is ongoing. They're starting the process. It's going slowly. Even the widow, Erica Kirk, has been upset about that speed. Are you convinced, seeing what you've seen, that this one shooter is the one guy?
Well, I got to be careful on comment on the evidence. As you know, it's a state court proceeding. It's a state murder charge. And as you know, you've covered this longer than everybody else. Those take a long time, if not years, to adjudicate a murder case. And that's what's going on. My job at the FBI is to ensure that they have the evidence that they need from my agents that were on the ground that collected it, and we provided it to them, and we will continue to work with them and take our direction from the state prosecutors. At the end of the day, Charlie was my friend, a dear, dear friend. The worst thing that could happen is we somehow taint the evidence of the jury pool by making a statement or commenting and stylizing the evidence, and that ends up in a mistrial or even an acquittal. So what I'm guarding against is that, and we will continue to provide support.
All right, well, let me take you to a different shooter, and that is the Butler shooter. I asked you about this at Quantico. Take a listen. Will we know a lot more about him? Is there more to know?
I don't know that there's more to know, but you're going to know everything we know. And we don't feel that the American people have been given the information they need on that. And we're digging through the files, and we're getting them a more robust picture of what happened.
So that was May 2025. I mean, I don't think we, the public, have a more robust picture of that shooter.
Well, I think that's an unfair supposition. We, the FBI, have put out all the information that we possibly and legally can while protecting any ongoing matters that are unrelated.
But he's dead.
Well, yes, he's very much dead. But at the same time, Bret, we at the FBI have to follow the parameters of our investigation and what the law allows us to release.
I get it, but you know, what were the cell phones? Why don't we know who he was talking to? You know, what exactly happened? I feel like we haven't gotten the whole picture about Butler even now.
But here's the thing, Bret. We can provide, and just an example here, we've provided 40,000 pages of documents to Congress. That's a 400% increase from the prior two directors. We will continue to provide this information with our partners on Capitol Hill when we are legally able. It's never going to be enough for everyone. It's never going to be enough. But what we are saying is, we're not saying trust us. We're saying we did an exhaustive search of that. We presented that information to the Department of Justice, and a decision was made on what to release.
Yeah, but okay. You said we put out everything we could. Do you think that everything's been put out about Eric Crump's, the shooter, alleged shooter?
Everything. Whether it's Epstein or Charlie Kirk, or whether it's this shooter in Butler, we always put out what the law permits us to put out.
Bret Baier effectively proved right there that Kash Patel is full of shit. He let him ramble on and on about how Charlie Kirk was his friend, and then give us a bunch of legal gobbledygook about why they can't tell us anything, and then uses Kash Patel and the FBI's non-delivery over Thomas Crooks to make it clear that he is, in fact, just full of shit. And why we, the American people, should not trust any sort of transparent delivery when it comes to the Charlie Kirk investigation, like it being bigger than just Tyler Robinson, which it is, as you're about to see. But and the Epstein Files. And I want to go back to this. Remember the Deputy AG, Todd Blanche, from yesterday, saying that it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. And that was a direct quote. And then he went on to say that, unfortunately, for the American people, there is no evidence of crimes being committed, and nothing can be done about it. Trust us, though, if there was, we would do something about it. If, in fact, we live in a world where these individuals can get away with the things that they did, then something is seriously wrong with the justice system, okay? If nothing can be done because everyone's hands are tied legally, then that's a problem. You cannot tell me that this justifiably, goes unpunished. Look at this. It just keeps getting worse. On my island in the Caribbean with an aquarium full of girls, the response, the king of Saudi Arabia has a few white sharks at his Jeddah palace. I totally prefer yours. Sure, I would enjoy the view. And then the following response, as two are Russian, I guess some might refer to them as white sharks. As long as you don't have any hammerhead ones, I like white sharks. No, some are like shrimp. You throw away the head and keep the body. Yeah. We're supposed to believe, us goyim, dumb, subhuman, white Christians, that these guys were just eating pizza and looking at sharks in aquariums, okay? We live in an evil world, guys. There are evil forces at work that we must fight and remain on guard against. True justice, the full truth, we're going to keep fighting for it. But as we all know, it's probably not something that we can expect in this world, which leads us to the truth about Charlie Kirk. This was a 4-hour live hearing. I went through just about the whole thing for you. You're welcome. And it's very important that you understand the context and the purpose of this hearing, as I laid out in the opener. But to remind you, again, the Utah state prosecutors filed for the death penalty for Tyler Robinson abnormally fast. And their justification for this is that the evidence against Tyler Robinson is so compelling that this makes total sense. They're saying it's a slam dunk case, okay? The defense is arguing that the Utah County Prosecutor's Office is emotionally tied to the case, and this is the reason for the quick filing of the death penalty, because of the connection to the state attorney's office that they have with the daughter of one of them who was at UVU that day and saw Charlie Kirk get killed. What this required, though, is for the state to justify that this filing for the death penalty was objective based on the evidence, not emotion. So they brought in the lead investigator in charge of all of the evidence collecting, from the Utah State Bureau of Investigation to justify the death penalty in this case. They start with the video evidence and first ask him to describe the videos that they have, which makes this case against Tyler Robinson so compelling. I added the videos that he's talking about here for reference, and let me know what you notice about them.
Will you describe what we're going to see here before we hit the play button?
Yeah, this video will actually zoom into the roof area of the building, as you can see center screen. In doing so, the video will capture an individual on the corner of the rooftop.
Was this video captured by the person we're referring to as Prosecutor A's daughter?
No.
Okay. Please press play.
You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying? He just ran from, over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in, and now he's right there. Just saying.
Now, that roof that was recorded in that video, first, is there other surveillance of that person a person in that location at that time running to that spot?
There is additional footage, yes.
Where does that come from?
That came from the Utah Valley University security cameras.
All right. Is there another individual that also recorded a person running after the shooting from the roof?
Not to my recollection, no.
Any video from someone, do you recall a video from someone in the Hall of Flags who may have recorded someone running after the
All of these are videos that we've seen before, none of which make it obvious that Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger. But he goes on to mention Hunter Kozak and the video from right behind him, which he says proves the shot came from Charlie's front. He then mentions the videos from house security cameras, businesses, and gas stations, all of which we've seen before. Remember, Candace Owens mentioned in her meeting with Erica Kirk that after speaking with their attorney, that they have nothing that we haven't already seen. And this was proven true here by the top state investigator on this case. Yes, that is who that man was right there testifying. That's the lead guy, like I've been saying. He is then asked about the DNA match with Tyler Robinson on the rifle. And listen, he exposes something here that I think is very important as this relates to being bigger than just Tyler Robinson.
Could you repeat the question?
Is DNA consistent with the defendant's DNA found on the firearm that was found at the scene?
Yes, the DNA on the firearm was consistent with that of Mr. Robinson.
You said the etchings, there was etchings in that firearm, and that there was also etchings in rounds in the firearm. Is that what I understand?
Yes, I believe the chambered round and other rounds found at the time had etchings upon them.
And you said there were rounds with etchings also found on them in the defendant's apartment. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. That firearm, where was that found?
It was found in a wooded area just off of Campus Drive, wrapped in a black towel.
Okay.
Okay, so the DNA we'll touch on here more in a second because the defense team comes up and then makes a shocking statement that really does change everything when it comes to this DNA claim. But did you notice they found etchings in the apartment on shell casings as well? At another point in this trial, they talk about a number of things that were found in the apartment connecting Tyler Robinson to the crime. All of these things would have been present in the apartment prior to Tyler Robinson going to UVU. And these include things like the etchings, text messages, online chats, targets that he had purchased to practice shooting, and his computer that he mentions was seized. Remember, Lance Twiggs was apparently at their apartment during all of this, according to the FBI narrative. Remember, according to the text messages, Tyler told Lance to look under his computer. That's where the note was, admitting that I did all of this. Lance was at the apartment. And if the apartment was full of these things, of course, Lance would have known prior to all of it happening. At the very least, when you live with someone, you know what they're doing. Personally, I think Lance was there helping carry out this operation. But that's just me speculating, of course. Or could Lance's DNA also have been on the scene? Here's the bombshell.
DNA evidence. You're certainly not a DNA expert. Is that correct?
I'm not, no.
And are you aware that the DNA evidence that was seized from the scene consisted of a mixture of at least 5 different individuals?
I'm not a DNA expert, so
So you know enough to say what helps him, but you're not going to answer whether or not there were 5 individuals mixed into that DNA.
I'm not aware of that, no.
Okay. And you're certainly not qualified to interpret complex DNA mixtures, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Court's indulgence for just one moment, Your Honor. Six minutes.
Ms. Nestor, is there, I know I gave you that 6 minutes. Is there any other questions that you feel you need to ask?
Thank you for asking, but I think I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love how there's basically a shot clock when it comes to asking like incredibly important questions about a murder of someone. You only have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to finish this up. Where are we going? We got all the time in the world. Let's go. The DNA recovered on the scene consisted of a mixture of 5 individuals. Did you know that, lead investigator collecting all of the evidence? I did not know that. What? And she is saying from the scene here. So this could mean the rifle, screwdriver, the ledge where the shooter jumped off, the rooftop. But the lead investigator didn't know about the 4 other people that were identified from the DNA. Here's what this comes down to. Tyler Robinson was obviously involved in the assassination operation that took place that day. Nothing presented here, which was supposed to justify the obvious reasons for the death penalty, fully convinces me that he should receive it. If anything, it leaves me even more convinced that this involved more people than just Tyler Robinson. This, in my opinion, obliterates the lone wolf narrative. And then this just now ties back into Kash Patel and the FBI telling us the truth. Who else was involved in this? I asked that question, and I already know what the answer is, guys. And no, it's not because I'm giving up, as I've seen in the chat. I actually think we need to go harder. Like this puts the responsibility on us. They will tell us that they will release to us what they are legally allowed to in order to protect the victims and their families. This is a matter of national security. It's a conspiracy theory. The evidence doesn't exist. We will present you with what supports it. We know it's all for our own good. And this is why, you guys, people are taking matters into their own hands. If the authorities that we put in place are not going to tell us the truth, the full truth, come what may, especially as it relates to Charlie Kirk, then we must turn over every stone ourselves. And this is the main reason why I believe what Candace Owens is doing as it relates to this Charlie Kirk investigation is so incredibly valuable, despite all the heat, the threats, and the pressure that she's receiving. We will continue to go max. And I want to finish today with a scripture verse that I came across this morning that is, of course, always timely when you read scripture on a daily basis, but it's very relevant to us right now. I'm reading through Paul's letters to the letters, all of his letters. I just finished Romans. I'm on Corinthians now, with commentary from the church fathers throughout Christian history. It's awesome. In his first letter to the Corinthians, he writes this. I'm going to read this to you. Those who are unspiritual do not receive the gifts of God's Spirit, for they are foolishness to them, and they are unable to understand them because they are spiritually discerned. Those who are spiritual discern all things, and they are themselves subject to no one else's scrutiny. But we have the mind of Christ. Those who are not spiritual and do not receive the gifts of the Holy Spirit consider spiritual things foolishness. But we have the mind of Christ. I think that advice right there is that advice. That truth right there from St. Paul to the Corinthians as he's writing to this small church community who's trying to find their way. They're trying to understand why they themselves are different from the world, why the world operates differently from them, why they seem kind of weird in the world, why they seem to have to operate by a different standard when it comes to virtue and truth. But we have the mind of Christ. And that's what renews us. That's what protects us. That's what defends us. And every single one of us here knows, because we're all watching this. We can look at these things. We can see all of this talk that takes place in the political and cultural arena. And we're able to discern. We're able to discern what is true and what is of the good versus what is not. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why like this channel exists, because we are here to look at all of these happenings as they're taking place throughout the world, all of these circumstances, and discern what the truth is according to our faith, so that we can remain aligned and on the path toward who God made us to be in this world. And this is an incredible defense against the things of this world. Like I said earlier in the show, there is evil in this world. There are forces that are seeking to destroy souls. There are ideologies at work seeking to destroy souls and to mislead people and take people off the path toward God, toward the truth, toward Christ. 3 of those main ideologies, Zionism, feminism, secularism, specifically target the Christian church. They're very important for us to remain aware of, to discern, and fight against. All right. Let's get to some of your guys' comments. Thank you. I'm Jinx for that donation. Thank you, Zach. Can't wait to hear more about your new venture. I appreciate you. I appreciate that donation. Should I just announce this now? No, I'm going to tease you guys. I have a website that is up and ready to go. This is happening. We are going to be moving forward with this. We've got some legal stuff in motion. We're trying to figure out the best way to get it set up so we can really maximize the impact. But as far as building an organization that defends Christian rights in America by identifying and fighting anti-Christianism, and an organization whose mission is to educate and promote Orthodox Christian values in America, it's happening. So thank you for that. I appreciate that donation. One of the main reasons why, what ultimately pushed me over the edge, like we've been kind of talking about this for a while, me and some other like-minded friends, colleagues, business owners that I have in my close sphere of influence. We've been talking about a way to do this, and you guys, with all of your support and all of your encouraging comments, after I've kind of expressed the desire to do it, all of you guys and just the incredible flood of encouragement that I've gotten from all of you is a big reason that it finally pushed me over the edge to do it. We just need a better, more representative of Orthodox Christianity, not evangelical Zionist Christianity. We need to organize. We need a better weapon to fight against all of this in the political and cultural arena. So I can't wait to tell you guys what it is. I can't wait to tell you guys what the plans are. I'm super excited about it. And again, thank you guys for all of the encouragement. Let's see here. Let's see. Not a lot of super chats today. Come on, guys, let's go. That's the only way to really support the channel right now, until you can donate to the organization. But yeah, I mean, just so you guys know, like if you guys leave me a super chat, like I guarantee you I will get to that. Like they stand out here. The YouTube algorithm likes it. I'm trying to, I just started going live. I've been putting videos on YouTube for a good amount of time now, for maybe the last couple of years, just kind of really doing like quick hitting short or short or form commentary. And That's been doing well. That's kind of how I built up, my platform a little bit. But going live is something that I consider to be important. It's more real in this age, and in this age of AI. If you're just kind of a talking head that doesn't go live, that can't go live, that just pre-records, that you're probably going to get replaced. So that's not something that I want to happen. And I just think that the live aspect of things, like, that's where, if you want to be the best, you got to go live. That's just what it comes down to. So here I am. Let's see here. Looks like I got another super chat in here. Let's bring that up. Rando, Carly, Reese, and Jody B. I don't know how to read your guys' handles sometimes, but there's no comment on there. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate that. Another comment in here that I saw that I want to get to, I think that's important. So, I hope the church will not condemn your worthy project. It is corrupted. I guess I'm assuming that you're saying that the church is corrupted. I hope you're not referring to my project being corrupted. Here's the thing, guys. I mean, this is what my perspective on the church and it being corrupted, and the church condemning certain things and speaking out on certain things. Look, the church is a human institution. Yes, it's guided and protected by Christ. We believe that. And we can just, we can talk about this as kind of the church at large. It doesn't have to be a specific church that we're talking about here. But I would assume that you're talking here about the Catholic Church. With regard to the Catholic Church, I think it's important to understand that there are, it is a human institution. Yes, it is guided by Christ, but there are humans involved in it. And why would we be surprised that evil tries to infiltrate the Catholic Church? Why would we be surprised that evil tries to infiltrate every single human institution? And it does, and it does. And it's a constant battle. And sometimes that battle has to be fought within, and sometimes it has to be fought without. Here's the reality. The reality is that there is a large portion of, if we want to talk specifically about the Catholic Church, but this relates to also the Orthodox Church, Greek Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox, even Protestant, even a number of different Protestant denominations that ascribe to Orthodox Christian belief. There are also segments of those same churches that do not. So this is a fight that we have to engage in and that we have to fight. Like, this is not only reform of the American body politic and culture when it comes to these Orthodox Christian beliefs, but it's also, I mean, look, it's a fight for the truth also too within the church, especially within the Orthodox Church. And I say Orthodox as kind of the unification of believers that may exist in different denominations among the Orthodox traditions, I guess you can say. We have to unify. We have to find a way to reconcile our differences about theology. Look, I would love to just continue the debate on theology. Talk about theosis. Talk about the concept of philoke, which is the Holy Spirit coming from the Father through the Son, or from the Father and the Son. Like, this was a big point and topic of the East-West Schism. We can even talk about faith and works and the dynamic relationship between the two of them, the marriage between the two of them. But look, what it comes down to is this, like, Christian rights, Orthodox Christian rights. Like, we have believed in these things, in things that are very important to us for 1,500, 1,800, 2,000 years, that are now being labeled in our culture by, whether it be a secular government or whether it be religious ideologies like a Zionism, that are now labeling these beliefs that we've held for a long time as domestic terrorism, extremism, or anti-Semitic. And then they're using the levers of power to shut us up, censor us, take away our platforms. I mean, we're seeing that play out in real time. So we better organize. It's like we better organize or we're going to go extinct. And I truly believe that is exactly what the enemy wants. The enemy wants us to go extinct. So we have work to do. Jane Jordan, thank you for the donation there. I really appreciate that. Let's all get behind Zach and support his efforts. Look, thank you. But again, like, as I said when I first kind of announced this, this is all of us. This is for all of us. Every single one of us. And this is, I think, evident in all of the encouragement that has come out since I've, kind of floated this just idea out there. All of us know, so many of you guys watching know that this is needed. Like, we know that our rights are at risk and are at stake here. And the faith that we've believed in for a long time is at stake. Okay. I've said this. Every Christian throughout history has had the responsibility unique to their own time to fight for the faith. This is our time now. This is our time. This is the issue of our time. All of you guys know that. I really believe that you do. And that's the reason why everybody is so passionate about this. We all know this is what's needed. So when you say his efforts, like, this is not just my effort. This is not just my effort. This is our effort. This is our effort. And I believe it to be a critical effort of our time to fight for the faith. We're all here doing this together. We're all here doing this together. This is a movement that will involve all of us. And I'm going to make for damn sure that that's the case. So thank you for that. Thank you for that donation. There's no comment there, but thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Okay, let's get to work. Let's get to work. It's time. It's time for us to step up, and it's time for us to fight. This is the fight of our time, as I've been saying. Let's do it. Let's do it. I can't wait to announce it officially to you guys, and that probably is going to come here in the very near future. In the very near future. So just keep tuning in here. I will announce it here live on the show. So keep tuning in. Thank you for that. Someone got me yesterday. So J.E. Banks, thank you for that. Someone got me yesterday. They gave me $140 czar donation. I thought it was dollars. So I was like, dang, like, super generous of you. Thank you. I went to the exchange and I saw that, like, 140 czar. Don't get me wrong. Thank you. I appreciate the donation, but it kind of just got me. It was like $8.46. Oh, man. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. But in any case, thank you. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever it is, guys, every cent matters, right? Every cent matters. We all have skin in the game in this. This is important to all of us. So let's keep rolling. I keep seeing them come in, guys. I really appreciate that. So let's keep rolling. I think you've already submitted, right? I think you already done it. Is this another one? Or am I just going back? No, I think this is another one. So wow, thank you again. But yeah, thank you for leading this effort that we do need. I agree. Yep, absolutely. Richie Rich, thank you. We need to come together. We need to fight for our faith and the violations that these demons are committing against our children. Thank you for quarterbacking the movement for us. We need to fight for our faith and the violations that these demons are committing against our children. Amen. Amen. And look, I don't want to get into it too much right now or today. I know Dan Bongino likes to come after all of us and call us black-pilled if we are dissent or have criticism about, the current administration and the things that have been going on. Look, what it comes down to, and I've said this many, many times, one of the main reasons that I was just so enthusiastic about this Trump administration. I mean, I'm an anti-establishment type of guy. I believe in Orthodox American values. We talk about Orthodox Christian values. I believe in Orthodox American values. I'm a Virginian. Shoot. This is ground zero of individual liberty. George Mason wrote the Virginia Declaration of Rights. That then became the Bill of Rights at the national level. First 4 out of 5 presidents from Virginia. It's called the Virginia Dynasty. We need to fight for our faith and the violations that these demons are committing against our children. We believe that the Trump administration was going to go in and get the American government working back on our behalf. We believe that this was an elite versus the people movement. Charlie Kirk delivered an incredible speech campaigning for the Trump administration, saying as much. I've shared it in the previous video. I shared that video comparing Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk and just the difference in the it factor, which is night and day, which I also think is one of the main problems for Turning Point USA. But anyway, I'm weaving. Let me come back. When the Trump administration told us that the Epstein Files were a hoax, or when they paraded around all those binders and Pam Bondi said, I've got them all on my desk. We've got all the pedophiles. We're going to catch them. And we're going to do it on your behalf because we promised to. And then it was a hoax. And they couldn't release them for national security. And now they've released them, but they can't do anything about it because they have no proof that anybody did anything wrong. They betrayed us. They betrayed us. And am I black-pilled? Like, do I understand that it's hard to get things done in government? Do I understand that the system that's been set up has made it very difficult to root out all of the corruption and the fraud and the waste? Like, I get that. I'm a business guy. I've built businesses. I understand that aspect of things. But don't lie to us. Don't lie to us and don't treat us like we're stupid, because that's how we've been treated for years and years and years when it comes to the elitist class and our government and how they treat us. Don't treat us like that. Do you not understand that that is the reason why so many of us are upset? And then there's the accountability aspect of it, of course. They know these guys did wrong. They know they know what they did with these girls. We all know what they did. And they're covering for them. They chose the elites over the people, and that is the reason why so many of us are upset about this issue. The messaging is still to come after us and tell us how ridiculous we are for continuing to bring these things up. They don't get it. They don't get it. I've said whoever is advising Trump in his administration on the messaging for these Epstein files is an idiot. Is an idiot. Whoever's advising him on the Zionist issue is also an idiot. But we'll leave that one for now. Okay. Let's get to the next one, guys. I see a good number of these coming in here. Wow. Thank you. Really appreciate that donation right there. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, let's get to a couple more. I see a couple more in here, and then I got to get rolling. Madeline Sweeta, thank you. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Thank you for that. That is one of my favorite prayers. I say that every morning. I actually integrate it. Maybe I'll just tell you guys what I do. It's helpful for me. Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I'm your servant. Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I am your man. Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I'm your leader. Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I am your saint. It's almost like I repeat that again and again and then try to affirm who God made me to be. It helps. It's a part of my daily prayer practice. But anyway, thank you for sharing that. That prayer is very powerful, very powerful. In times of anxiety, of high stress, when things aren't going your way, battling demons, the world seems irredeemable. Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Boom. Hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you. It's good for the algorithm. I hate asking, but the difference between me asking and not asking, you guys would be shocked by the numbers. So I'm being open and honest with you. The algorithm really likes it. They push stuff that you guys like and subscribe to. They like when you interact with the video. They like the super chats. They like the chat. They like the comments. So it's fake and gay to ask for hit that subscribe button. You guys know what to do. I'm a YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. It works. It sucks, but it works. All right, a couple more here because they keep coming in. You guys are truly awesome. I really appreciate you. Rosemary, hi, Zach. Loved your episode from 13 days ago on Zionism. Can you please go Max on the Synagogue of Satan, Christ is King? I appreciate that. Yeah, I did that video and then I cut up a short clip that said, Zach Costello debunks Zionism in 6 minutes. Let's go. I need to do a deeper dive on it. I really, really want to. And I've really been kind of digging into, well, obviously the Gospels and then the letters of Paul. I mentioned I'm reading Paul's letters. That's a big reason for it. Because a lot of these evangelical Zionists, like they have all these quotes that they like to pull out and quote. But I'm really understanding they don't really have that deep of knowledge of the Bible. They just know their quotes. I don't know how you can read the Gospels and read Paul in full context and still come out a Zionist. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's crazy. But then you go through the church fathers and you just see what they were fighting. You see what they were going through. You see the political connections and the conspiracies that were done. And you kind of see it for what it is. You see it for what it is, and I need to do a deeper dive on it, and I plan to. I just got to fit it in. I just got to find the time and fit it in. But yeah, I appreciate you. Again, Zionism is it's the, I think, false Christian belief of our time that we must battle against. I think it has done an effective job at castrating the Orthodox, original Christian traditions. I think it's done a very effective job at watering those traditions down to make it Jewish and Zionist acceptable. And I think that we need to fight against it. We need to fight against it because what it's led to an imprudent approach with how to manage and treat the conflicting ideologies of our time. I'll leave it at that for now. There's one more here. Let me find it and bring it up. Nope, I got to it. All right, guys. That's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for joining. Thanks for being here. Make sure you check out ZachCostello.com. Get your merch. I've got hoodies, mugs, hats, the One Nation Under God hat and logo. Let me pull this up for you right here. It's in my background, but this One Nation Focus on that. The one cross nation, one nation under God. That's what we're fighting for. I love that logo. I think it's cool. It's not corny. It's not corny like a lot of like the, stuff you see from like the Christian side of things is like corny and not cool. Like also when it comes down to it, like you don't really want to wear it. Look, I'm an athlete. I wore a lot of Nike. This is a Lululemon shirt. I like athletic gear. I like kind of, lean looking athletic gear that's, kind of cool. I'm not an over educated type of, intellectual guy. I enjoy that stuff, but it's kind of not, it's not really my style, I guess you can say. Athletic, cool, common sense, like that's kind of a part of who I am. So I like to kind of represent that from a faith standpoint. And I think that does that. I think that's cool. So anyway, check out the merch store, get yourself some. Hint, 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 hint. Stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Talk to you later. I'm Zach Costello.